Last week, the President spoke about what our administration is doing to boost vaccination rates. And basically, it boils down to two big things. We are bringing the facts, not misinformation, the facts directly to the people. And that's a big deal, as you all know. We got to get the facts out, because sadly, there's a lot of misinformation. So let's know what it is, and let's talk to our neighbors and our friends and say, here, let me tell you about the facts. Okay, the facts, one. And two, bringing the vaccine directly to the people. Okay? So we have volunteers who are going door to door to give people information about the vaccines. Why? Because we shouldn't require that people knock on our door to find out what's going on. Let's take it to the streets. Take it to the people. That's what we're talking about doing. Knock on those doors. Hello, neighbor. And we are setting up clinics in workplaces and sending mobile clinics into communities. We are leaving no stone unturned. Virtually every person who is in the hospital, sick with COVID-19 right now, is unvaccinated. I'm going to repeat that. Virtually, it's a fact. Pay attention. Virtually every person who is in the hospital right now, sick with COVID-19, is unvaccinated. And even more, regrettably, virtually every person who has recently died from COVID-19 was unvaccinated. The loss, the tragedy of that loss. Literally every person who has died from COVID-19 that we have recently been seeing was unvaccinated. You know, you hear doctors now talking about when they're treating someone in the hospital these days for COVID-19, and then they ask, well, have you been vaccinated? The kind of response they're getting, sometimes it's nonverbal, but it's kind of people looking down and saying, no, I haven't been vaccinated. So let's do this in a way that we don't judge anybody. We're not looking down on anybody. But we do want to give them the information, because nobody should have to live with any kind of sense or feeling of regret. So if you have not yet been vaccinated, you know, some people said, I'm gonna wait, I wanna wait and see how this all turns out, how everybody else is doing with it, right? So I'm gonna give it 6 months. It's July. It's time. It's time. So it is time, and it is time to roll up your sleeves and get the shot. And if you already have, find someone who hasn't and help them. And talk to them as we are having this conversation now. You know, a couple weeks ago, I was down in Atlanta at Ebenezer Baptist Church. And it was good to be back there. And the church, of course, you all know this is the church where Dr. King preached, until the day he died. And today, it is a place of worship, but as most places of worship, also a place of healing. It is a vaccination site. Then and now, a place of healing. And I said then, what I will repeat today. I do believe that the act of getting vaccinated is the very essence of what the Bible tells us when it says, love thy neighbor. Right? Because what we know is, one can ask, well, who is one's neighbor? Is it the person who lives to my left, lives to my right? I know them, may borrow a cup of sugar, right? But what we know it means when we talk about love thy neighbor is that, yes, it may be the person next door, and it may be the man on the side of the road, and it may be a perfect stranger. And in the face of that stranger, you see a friend. That's what this is about. And so by getting vaccinated, you are loving your neighbor.